Alright, so this is Trackmania Turbo. This came out Tuesday on consoles and PC, I think, too. I'm playing this on the Xbox One right now. And this is being done as a live stream, so there won't be any editing or anything like that. Yeah, I never really played them before, much at all. This is the first Trackmania game I played, and I'm enjoying it so far. I think it's actually really fun. And I had some issues with it on the Xbox One, and I uploaded a video earlier that's going to be the full first hour of it on the channel. So if you want a better video of that of this game, the gameplay, it might be best to watch that instead. It's recorded at 60 frames per second, 1080p. Since this is a live stream, it's at a lower frame rate and a lower resolution. So just keep that in mind, that this game actually does look better than this stream is showing. So idea here that I'm planning is start off, try to improve some of my times and some of these early, to work on the achievement for getting a silver medal in all of them, and some of these early campaign levels, and go on to the stuff that I was working on last night as well. So I had an issue with this game. The issue is probably specific to the Xbox One version, I assume. And that issue was that the game was freezing, especially when I'd complete a lap, the game would freeze up for about 2-3 seconds. And if you watch the video I put up, you can see that happening in the video, where occasionally it would just freeze up. And I could hear my hard drive. I use an external hard drive, a 5 terabyte external hard drive with the Xbox One. And usually that's actually faster than the internal hard drive. But I could hear it spinning up when it was like freezing. So I assumed it was like a storage issue. So I changed my install of this game from the hard drive to the external. I changed it from the external hard drive to the internal storage, and that fixed the problem. So I'm not sure if that's like a problem with the game using external storage, but it fixed the issue for me, and it was a huge issue actually. It was basically unplayable until I installed it on the internal hard drive. And I've had that happen with a couple of games before, but not many. There's a game called Gems of War that it's a free-to-play game on Xbox One, and it will freeze up constantly if it's installed on my external storage. Because I don't know exactly what's going on. Like, I think it's maybe some kind of optimization that's not done correctly when it's accessing the USB storage. I'm not sure. There's a few indie games like that I've had that issue with, but generally, also, like, for whatever reason, for the Xbox One, the external USB 3 tends to be faster in load times than the internal storage. Let me turn down this music here, just so that I'm not sure if it'll get me flagged for that on YouTube. Actually, I was looking to see if I could import my own music into this game, since that's something I used to enjoy doing with racing games, was to just import my own music into it. But unfortunately, at least on the Xbox One, you can't do that. On the PS4, you can play music in the background. On the Xbox One, you can only do that apparently if the app is snapped, which then you just give up a ton of your screen real estate. But the PS4, I think that like that's kind of not a real solution to it either. Like I used to kind of on the 360, I used to import my music into games, and it would use it as the game's soundtrack. I used to do that in Forza games. It's kind of different because like it'll like it's kind of a different experience than just playing in the background, because it's actually playing it during the actual races and like pausing it during main menus, I think. I could be remembering that wrong though. But I assume that one of the reasons that like the new gen consoles don't, that's unfortunate, don't do that is because of licensing issues. Like I assume that like the ability to just import your music into it, even if it is your music, could cause some issues for certain companies. Let's try that one more time here. I might be a little bit not skilled enough to get silver medals in all these beginner tracks yet. What I found is in the campaign, every 5 races is a multi-lap race, and those tend to be the hardest to get a higher medal on, because you have to be more consistent in them. So for other games I've been playing recently, I've been trying to finish up The Division, or at least get to level 30 in it. I think I'm level 25 now. So hopefully I'll get to level 30 fairly soon. Progress has been going pretty slow in that game for me. I'm not that into shooters or anything like that. I'm just way behind at this point for that game. I keep wondering whether it's worth it to keep putting up these guides that I've been putting up on the channel. I've been recording guides of some of the missions and putting them up. No, I don't speak Spanish, sorry. But I've been trying to put up these guides on the channel. And just like some of the missions are worthwhile to do stuff for, because they can be a little bit hard to find, and not many people are putting up kind of guides for these side missions. But also it's been a couple weeks since the game's been out, so most people are beyond the point where kind of they need help on this kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if it's really worth it anymore. But the game is actually a lot better than I thought it would be. The Division is. I thought it was not going to be a game I'd enjoy at all, because I'm not that into shooters, but I'm actually kind of enjoying it. I want to at least hit level cap in that game. Looks like I might get the silver here. Alright. Oh, thanks a lot for that. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I know that, yeah, thanks a lot for coming in and saying that. I really appreciate that. But yeah, thanks a lot for coming in and saying that. Really, actually selected the wrong track setting here. Far Cry Primal was a game I really enjoyed a lot, and I tried to record a lot of the missions in it, at least the ones that I kind of had some issues with, and try to put them up on the channel. And uh, I think some of them I wasn't sure whether it was worth it to put up, but like I'm glad that it definitely helped you out. So thanks for coming in and telling me that. I really enjoyed that game a lot, though. It was probably my favorite game that's come out this year, I think. I really enjoyed Far Cry 4, though, so I thought I was going to enjoy it, and it was just really a fun game just to go around and explore everything in. I always like, it's always nice to, a lot of, there's a lot of like stereotype of negativity on YouTube, but 90% of the comments I get are positive comments and like thank yous and such. So really happy that most of the people are really positive with that kind of stuff. It's always nice when I've been trying to do it myself. Like if I see a video that I like or is helpful, I'll at least like it, or like I've been trying to comment more on videos that also are helpful because I know it means a lot to the creator when they find it helpful or you tell them that. Yeah, I understand exactly what you're saying. I know that there's a language difference, but I understand what you're saying. And thanks for popping in to tell me that. Especially with the language difference, definitely thanks for popping in to tell me that. But yeah, overall, I think 95% of comments left on my channel are just really good, nice comments, and I really appreciate those. We won't talk about the remaining 5%. It sometimes can be hard to focus on the 95% when there is like 5% toxic comments, but most people tend to be just really nice and supportive. So I realize I'm probably not good enough at this game to get the silver medals right now in those early missions, so I'm going to just start working on where I left off the campaign. Also, I really appreciate like that people come in and like to the stream and just take the time to like say that as well. Like, I know that most people like who view the guides or stuff that I put out, like just hopefully like they just get the solution they're looking for and just like move on, which is the desired stuff, desired reason for that. So it's kind of hard for my channel to kind of grow, and like especially in subscribers and stuff like that, because I just tend to upload guides mostly, And once you kind of see the guide for it, there's really no reason to kind of come back to the channel in the future. So it's kind of been hard for a channel like this to grow subscribers. But I really appreciate any like positive comments or anything like that. But this channel did hit 1,200 subscribers today, so thanks for that. And subscribers on YouTube really are kind of a number that doesn't matter that much, but it's a number that's important for various reasons, which is why I kind of, when I do like talk about videos and such, and when I talk in them or at the end of a video, I'll kind of ask if it was helpful to subscribe. And the reason for that isn't so much that I want people to come like back, and like I would like them to come back and such, but I know that a lot of times that like I'm doing content on games that in the future they may not be playing, but the subscriber number on YouTube is very important for kind of proving the value of your channel to both YouTube and to like press and marketing people and such like that. There might be requirements for your channel to have a certain number of subscribers before you can use certain services or get access to certain like coverage stuff for games. And also it's very likely that subscribers has an impact on your rankings and the search results for YouTube. So there's kind of this this circle where a like well-subscribed channel, a channel with a lot of subscribers is going to rank well in the search results, so it's just going to continue to get bigger. So it's like a snowball effect, so that larger channels continue to get larger because they show up better in search results, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy that what they put out is going to like have a lot of views on it. So it's kind of hard for a smaller channel to get started, but it's not impossible. Like you will see this all the time, like sometime in, like there might be many, like just using this as an example for Trackmania, there was probably tons and tons of gameplay videos for Trackmania, this new game, but the ones that are going to show up at the top of the search results when you search for that kind of stuff are generally going to be from the channels that have a large subscriber base, that get a lot of views, which tells YouTube that the content is probably better. So it's very hard to kind of stand out as a smaller channel. And usually the way that you stand out as a smaller channel is you have to be fast with the content. You have to get it up there earlier than everyone else. And for the videos that have always been the most successful for my channel, they've always been videos that I've always had the like information for first. Like my video was the first one to have a certain like thing. So, like as a smaller channel, you kind of have to be, if you're doing guides and stuff like that, you have to be first. So there's a kind of a race when a game comes out to get the content up, for smaller channels at least. Larger channels with larger subscriber bases can be a little bit slower on that because they can do well just relying on views from their current subscribers, and then rank well in the search results for YouTube. So I'm not playing very well here. This is right around the time in the campaign where it starts to get a lot harder. I think me talking like this is not helping my concentration. Well, this game is a really fun, like, if you like arcadey racers, it's pretty fun. It's a definitely. It feels a lot more hardcore. Like it's very. As a someone who's just casual into racing games, it's very hardcore. At least getting to the point now where it's very difficult to kind of hit all these medal times. Like it's not going to be possible for me to get a gold medal in every course, which is one of the achievements or trophies in this game. Like I'm just not that skilled and not going to be able to put the hundreds of hours required to learn all the courses perfectly to do that. But it's pretty fun to just play it casually, which is what I'm doing. Also, this is a $40 release, so it's a pretty good price on it. Okay. This might be right at the limits of my skill for this game right now. Try not to talk too much to concentrate on this. Hopefully finish it. Alright, that should be a bronze at least that time. Just for the achievement. I don't think I'll be able to even get silver on all the tracks, which is another achievement to get silver on everything. And then there's gold on everything, which is way out of my range. So the last few days, there was some interesting news about PlayStation 4, where it seems like they're doing a new model of it or some kind of upgrade. The main difference seems to be that it would support like 4K movies, where like right now I don't think the PlayStation 4 can support 4K at all. It wouldn't be able to support 4K in games, almost certainly, because that requires a just huge amount of power to even run at 30 frames per second for a 4K game. So there's some speculation that it might be an upgrade to make it possible to play 4K Blu-rays or something like that. That being the resolution, of course. But it's kind of weird. It might have something to do with PlayStation VR as well. I don't know. Maybe something to make it work better for that. I don't know. But it does seem really strange for PlayStation to be doing this kind of upgrade thing. And it seems like multiple people are kind of confirming that the this new PlayStation 4, it's being called like PlayStation 4.5, is a real thing. And it just seems kind of weird to do it because they are having so much success right now with the PlayStation 4 that they don't really need to do this. They don't need to release a new version of it. And if it is just to add 4K support, like, I don't know if that's really necessary or needed right now. And it's going to cause a lot of confusion in the marketplace, having two different models of the PlayStation 4. Plus, just really make people mad who purchase their console and then feel like they need to buy another one. But I don't know. We'll see what's actually changes with it. Like, obviously, if there were a situation where games were made only for the newer version of it, that would be really horrible. Even if there was a situation where a game, like, I would be really disappointed if a game ran at, for instance, 60 frames per second on the newer one and ran at 30 on the older. And I would kind of feel the need to upgrade at that point to a newer version of it. But I don't know. We'll have to see. I imagine they'll be announcing something with that at E3 on what their plans on that is on a new PlayStation 4. And with game consoles, they're in such a weird spot right now where they're selling really well and they're really underpowered compared to a PC, but you also cannot build a PC that matches like a PlayStation 4's power for $400. I mean, you could definitely go over a PlayStation 4's power for about 600 to 700, but to do it for 400, it's just really kind of difficult. But like both consoles are in this weird situation right now where they seem underpowered compared to PCs, and like unless you're really invested in the ecosystem like I am, where I enjoy trophies, I enjoy achievements, I enjoy that kind of stuff, it makes a lot of sense to kind of be gaming on your PC because that is where you're going to get the best version of a game in almost all cases. I didn't mean to do that. But I am someone who's really into playing, like, I enjoy achievements and trophies and that kind of stuff, and I'm not that much into, like, Steam has done a really bad job of selling its ecosystem. Like, they don't try to really lock down their achievements or anything like that. Like, there's programs out there that will that are very popular. They allow you to cheat in any Steam game. They allow you to unlock all achievements in a game. And there just doesn't seem to be, like, Valve doesn't seem to really care about their ecosystem that much, their platform, like policing it. So as someone who does care about kind of achievements and trophies and that kind of stuff, it's not very compelling to me to start gaming on there because, like, it just feels kind of, it just doesn't feel right when they don't seem to care about achievements or anything like that, or policing, having any policies for their platform. I know that There's trophy and achievement cheaters on PlayStation and Sony, or PlayStation and Microsoft networks, but they tend to do a little bit better job of policing that there. At least Microsoft always has gotten rid of any blatant cheaters. There have been like people that have slipped by, but also there's community sites that manage that stuff really well too, where the community sites have kind of been the way that people police among themselves now. Like true achievements for achievements is basically the entire achievement community at this point. Like anyone who's serious about achievements has a True Achievements account and is on that site. And so if you're banned from, if your score is banned on True Achievements, you might as well just be banned from the achievement community. And True Achievements generally does get it right for banning people for that kind of stuff, for modding their gamer scores, unlocking achievements, that like unlocking stuff from a save editor, that kind of stuff. They're not perfect. They've made mistakes, but they tend to be really good most of the time. And I'm really getting to the point where I'm having trouble with these courses. But if you are into achievements at all, you should be like signed up to True Achievements. It's a great site. And if you're into trophies, True Trophies is the trophy version of that site. It's not as popular because it didn't come out until a couple of years ago when trophies were already established, but still a great site. And then True Steam Achievements is their Steam version of it now, which is a new thing. But I've been using that site as well. I also found a site fairly recently called Metagamer Score, where it basically takes in your all of your profiles from a lot of places that track achievements and kind of combine it all together. And that's a really cool site. It has a leaderboard of people. Most of the people who are on that site are more into Steam stuff. And also the way the algorithm they use weights achievements, it drastically favors Steam achievements over like Xbox stuff or PlayStation stuff. But the idea of it is it takes your profile from a lot of different sites that track achievements, like Xbox Live, PlayStation Network, Steam, even World of Warcraft, StarCraft 2, Congregate even. There's this weird, really cool site. I think it's called retroachievements.com. It even takes stuff from there. I don't know if I'm saying the name of that site right, but I think if you search for that in Google, it'll come up. But it's a site that is like technically not legal because it's done through emulators, but it's a community of people who put together achievement lists for older games, and then you can unlock them through an emulator. So it's like adding achievements to older games, and it's really, really cool. And I actually had this idea years ago, and I was going to do it with so I had the video game source site, and it was laying dormant for years. It used to be a fairly, somewhat popular video game site online, and then kind of just from like 2005 until more recently. It just was just an archive. It just laid there dormant. But I had the idea around about 2009, 2010 to do something with the site where I would kind of curate a list of and try to kind of take suggestions from community people of achievements for older games, like retro games, because I was really into achievements at the time, and I wanted to kind of do something that you could track progress on older games. And I wanted to do something like that where people could submit achievements, like ideas for achievements for older games like Super Nintendo games. And I was going to do that on the site, and I actually was planning to do it for a while, but it was just such a big undertaking. And my idea of it was a lot different than what Retro Achievements was doing, because I was just going to kind of put up these lists that, and then people would be able to check off if they had gotten it or not. Like, there wouldn't be any kind of like emulator tracking or anything like that. That was way beyond the scope of what I thought would be possible. But my idea was kind of to have a site where people could submit ideas for achievements, and then kind of on the honor system, like, mark off whether they gotten them or not. So it'd be kind of a reason to replay your older games. But the Retro Achievement site seems to have gone way beyond what I ever imagined with that kind of stuff. And it's really, really cool. Unfortunately, it's quasi not legal because it involves emulators. My idea for it was, of course, that it wouldn't be... I didn't think there would be any way you'd be able to track it through an emulator or something like that. That was way beyond what I thought would be possible. But my idea was kind of just to put up a site that like tracked that kind of stuff, achievements for older games, and community be able to submit ideas for achievements for like these classic games. Like, just as an example, like maybe if it was Final Fantasy VI for the Super Nintendo, have an achievement for beating it with beating the game with only the required characters at the end of the game, where you only have to recruit 3 required characters to beat the game. And there's a lot of kind of Easter eggs in games that would be cool to have that kind of stuff for, because I've always felt like achievements and trophies are something that let you explore a game, and it's a good way to show you what is possible in the game, like Easter eggs and stuff like that. Like, you might not notice something or play a game differently if you know there's an achievement tied to it. And I've always thought that's a really cool thing about achievements. I also had some ideas for the site, kind of bringing it back, was to kind of index a lot of Let's Plays for... This was before Let's Plays were a huge thing. But kind of like index all the video content. Like, just have a one place where you could see like all Let's Plays for a game, which is just ridiculous right now too. That'd be take tons of time to curate that kind of stuff. Or even something similar to what the wiki on Giant Bomb does, which just like has a lot of game content for it. Originally, that was basically my idea for the site, was to have a lot of like, just to have as much like information for a game as possible on the game pages. And if you go through that old site, you'll see that like I set it up in such a way that you can it has a lot of different stuff that you could add to a game. Like, it was kind of like I built the site kind of from scratch in like 2002, 2001, around there. I think even 2000 I was working on it. And it was a really big effort to try to like put everything into it, and the site has not aged well at all. And in fact, a lot of the content on the site is outdated at this point. I still leave it up because there are a few things on the site that are interesting. That's the video game source site. The site that I'm actually updating now, or plan to update going forward. I won't be doing anything with the old site. They're just up there. It's just up there as kind of an archive of what used to be there. And unfortunately, some of the data was lost on the site, but I recovered as much as I could of the site. But not that many people actually go to the archived pages on that site anymore anyway, so it's not as big of a deal. I was looking at the stats for it recently, and I think that it receives like maybe 100 page views per day, something like that. Which is really small. Back in the 90s, the Game Genie section of that site, I actually know the stats on it fairly well. At its peak, which was probably like 96 or so, it was getting about 30,000 page views per day, which was a huge amount for a site back in that time, because obviously there's much less people on the internet back then. So I actually need to go back and play some of the Forza games. I'm really close to completing a couple of them, but I haven't gone through and done the final few things that are necessary to complete them. Horizon 2, I'm way off. I probably will never complete that game, actually. I will complete all the championships in it, but the multiplayer stuff I have really no interest in doing, and there's some really grindy stuff after completing all the championships. But I'm actually really close to completing Forza 3 and 4. The main thing I need to complete in Forza 3 is I basically have to leave my Xbox on idle for quite a while it runs the races by itself. And then Forza 4 is just a little bit of grinding to get higher in level. Though I think they did discontinue an achievement in that game just recently. Getting a certain car. You had to get it through the auction house, and I think they stopped releasing those cars. So the achievement is basically unattainable now in that game. I'm actually kind of surprised this game released at $40 price point. This is a Ubisoft game published by them. It feels like it works well at 40, but it kind of has a feel of sort of a downloadable game, if there is a like way to feel like that. So I think that 40 is actually a really good price for it. I imagine this game would probably come down to 20 pretty fast, though. So that might be a good point to buy it. Though I'm not sure. 40 might be a really good price for this game. But recently, I've seen games come down a lot really fast. It's actually been really weird. Some games, UFC, EA Sports UFC, went down to $40, I think, in the US at Best Buy on sale like a few days after it launched, which was just really strange. Then Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2 was the deal of the day on Amazon in the US for $40, like 2 weeks after it launched. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with that. I'm not sure why some of these games are being so heavily discounted so quickly now. And then, of course, you have Amazon matching Best Buy's Gamer Club Unlocked in the U.S., where you get, well, not it's not as good as matching it, but they are allowing you to get 20% off if you buy it within the first 2 weeks. So you can basically get a new release game for $48 on Amazon. I imagine if you're in the US, this would be $32 on Amazon right now, since it would be 20% off. This is going to be a hard one to do. There's so many points where I can mess up here. I'm sure I will mess up. Like that jump. So the freezing issue for this game, for me, was in multi-lap races like this one. Whenever I went to the next lap of the race, like right there, it would freeze up for about 3 seconds most of the time. And it was constant. It would constantly do that. And it appeared to be related to the fact that I had it installed on external USB storage, which is a 5 terabyte USB drive I had it hooked up to. When I moved it to the internal storage, it stopped freezing up. It basically made the game unplayable for these multi-lap races. Oh man. This isn't good. Oh, I'm basically out of steam here. That's so disappointing. Because my engine turned off right as I hit something, so I couldn't speed up. So I basically was stuck. I guess I could have checkpointed. That was my fault to not do that. I should have gone back to a checkpoint. I'm still getting used to like all of what you can do in this game. I'm only about 3 or 4 hours into it at this point. Not talking too much here since I am trying to concentrate on this to try to finish this. Because I'm right at the end. I'm a checkpoint. Should get at least a bronze, which is the goal. Like, just trying to get through all these courses with bronze medals. Alright, that's the bronze. And that's the achievement for completing that section of levels. This is getting to the top of my skill cap at the moment, I think. If you would like to see more about this, more of this game, I did upload the first hour of it, me playing through it, and it should be it's captured at 1080p and 60 frames per second. This stream I'm doing, unfortunately, I don't have the ability to stream at 60 frames per second, since it's a little bit too taxing on my computer to stream at that rate. But the video that I uploaded earlier is that the game looks great at that frame rate. I think it's not running at a full 1080p on the Xbox One though, so. And this is the Xbox One version of the game, which I'm playing it on the Xbox One, mostly for the achievements, because I'm into that kind of thing. Generally, the way I decide where to play games, there are games that like I prefer to play on PC. Those tend to be like Blizzard games. Diablo 3 is obviously way better on PC than it is on console. The type of games I play on PC tend to be like longer games I put a lot more time into. Like I put over 1,000 hours into Diablo 3 on PC. But usually the way I decide where to play games is if it has exclusive content for a certain console, then I'll play it on that console. I like trophies and achievements. I tend to prefer achievements a little bit more though. But also, if the game looks like it's an attainable platinum trophy, I'll maybe pick it up for the platinum on PS4. Like with Lego Marvel's Avengers, I felt that was a very attainable platinum trophy, and it had some exclusive content for the PS4. So I decided to pick it up for the PS4 initially, and I actually ended up playing on both consoles eventually. But since it was an easy platinum and it had some exclusive content for the PS4, that's where I picked it up. This game is not an easy platinum whatsoever, it seems, from needing to get all the golds. So this would not be a game that I'd ever get the platinum on. So I feel like on PlayStation side of things, like I kind of care more about platinums than the number of individual trophies I have, where on the Xbox side I tend to care more about my total gamer score or my true achievement score on true achievements. So if it's a game that I know I'm not going to complete, I'll sometimes favor getting it more on the Xbox. Oh, it depends. It really depends on the game as well. Far Cry Primal, that's an easy platinum trophy, but I play on the Xbox One anyway. If you want the platinum in that game, it'd probably take maybe 25 hours or so. Somewhere around there. I probably could do it in about 20 hours, having known the game at this point, though. And eventually I might actually replay it on the PS4, since I enjoyed the game so much. If it goes down a lot in price, I might my favorite game so far this year, even though it's not that much different than Far Cry 4, but it was just a really fun game. I just really enjoy playing those games to like check boxes off the map, just like explore the map, check stuff off, go on to the next thing, keep exploring. Just a lot of fun. So I talked about earlier, but kind of what's going on with the site, the Video Game Source site. I'm going to continue kind of posting news, articles, deals, and stuff that I think is relevant there. But right now, it's when we have a really small site like that, you don't get indexed in Google that quickly. So, like, it takes some time for Google to trust your site. And at this point, the site is not like well trusted because it hasn't been posting stuff for a long time. So I just need to be kind of more consistent. And I know that pretty much no one is actually going to that site and reading what I'm posting there. But Google needs to see that you're consistently posting content to it. So that's kind of what's going on with that site right now. And the more you post to it there, the more often that Google will visit your site and index your content on there. So that's what's going on with that site right now. I realize that like not many people are actually looking at the content on that site right now. I realize that. But it's kind of I have to continually put up information there so that Google will come back and index it, and then eventually it will become more of an authoritative site. It's the same deal with YouTube, where YouTube you just have to continue putting out videos, be consistent with it. I realized, like early on, like my videos got very few views, and even now some of them, like many of them, get very few views. But my channel gets more authoritative over time because it's so like putting out consistent content that people like. So even though it's still small. As far as ranking stuff goes on YouTube, search ranking, keywords are very important. Like I have kind of a lot of background in marketing, some knowledge of SEO and stuff like that, keyword research. So I kind of understand that portion of it. One of the portions that's like probably other than like keywords and stuff like that, what's most important on YouTube is likes and dislikes for ranking your content. Like just like that social interaction. It actually helps a lot more than people think. Like just liking a video helps a lot to get found in the rankings. Like YouTube places a lot of emphasis on like likes and comments and such on a video for ranking it. So that's kind of how these larger channels can get their videos ranked easier, because they might have let's say they have 100,000 subscribers, maybe 1,000 of them are active subscribers, like people who are actually watching their videos. Um, and so it gets a built-in, once they upload a video, they'll get a built-in amount of people watching it, a decent amount that will like the video, and it gives it like some relevance to YouTube's ranking algorithm, where it will show up easier in the rankings early on. So it kind of gives that early boost to a video if it's posted by someone who has a lot of like built-in subscribers. And that's kind of the situation on YouTube, is that you might have a very small number of subscribers, but you only have a very small number of kind of like true fans that watch all of your content and really kind of support you with that kind of stuff. So your subscriber number, it's important, but generally something around about 1% of it is going to be people who actually like care about your content and watch your content, all of it. But yeah, the channel did hit 1,200 subscribers today, which is great. It's been growing a lot since the start of the year, since I started to focus more on the channel. Like before, I was kind of just posting videos like occasionally, but now I've been trying to be consistent about it, trying to be more consistent about posting videos. Still don't have a kind of a schedule down, but I've been trying to post at least like a decent number of guides and stuff per day, content to the channel, and I will continue to try to do that, just to be consistent about that, even if it is just guides and stuff like that. But like I didn't start really focusing on the channel quite a bit until the start of this year, and since then it's grown a lot since that point. So I'm really happy to see that. I might, when Diablo 3 and the new season comes out, that's a game I just really enjoy playing each time a new season comes out. I might do some streams of it. The thing is, though, I'm not sure how interactive or fun it'll be, but we'll see. I'm also not sure if I can actually stream that game on my PC at the same time as playing it at a decent resolution and frame rate. I'm just not sure how interesting like that would be, but I might try it. I don't want to. I always feel like weird whether I'm putting out too much content on the channel or whether, I don't know, like I feel like sometimes I feel like streams and stuff aren't that compelling or interesting that I'm doing, so I'm not sure if it's like worthwhile to actually do it. But I know that like some people kind of enjoy that kind of stuff, and I don't know, it's kind of a balance. I've also thought of streaming some stuff on Hearthstone, but I'm by no means a pro player at that game. And I make constant mistakes in that game. And when I do it on stream, I feel like a huge amount of pressure to not make a mistake. Alright, this is not going so well. These tend to be the hardest races, the multi-lap ones, every 5 races. It just takes some time to learn them. So I'd mentioned this in a previous stream, but there is a way to get a notification whenever a person goes live on YouTube, kind of like on Twitch. The way you do that is it's under your subscriptions tab, and there's a little wheel there to manage each subscription you're subscribed to, and you can get an alert each time they post a new video to their channel or go live for streaming. I tested this. I did it on an alternate account to see how it would work, and I am getting the I'm getting all the alerts when I do go live streaming. And one thing I was concerned about is that it would like send a ton of emails, because I tend to upload a lot of guides and stuff to the channel. But the way that I do uploads on the channel is that if it's just a guide, it's just a random guide, I will unclick the notify subscribers button. So I tested it. Like, I thought that I might get a ton of email for each video I upload to the channel, but I was not getting emails when I unclicked the notify subscribers button. So like, I wasn't getting too flooded with emails, and I was just getting emails when the stream went live. So that is one way to do that, on YouTube Gaming, to know when someone does go live, is to manage subscriptions, and then click a little box telling YouTube to send you all alerts for that that subscription. That will tell you when they go live on streaming on YouTube. And that is something I do on my channel, is if it's just a random guide for a random game that most people would find through a Google search, and something that I don't think really a subscriber to the channel would be that interested in, I don't. I unclick the, by default, it will notify all subscribers about a new video up on the channel, but I will unclick that box if it's just a random guide or something like that. The type of videos that I'll leave that box checked for tend to be like, if it's the first video of a new game that I'm working on, then I'll leave that checked, so it's kind of like a notification that it's a new game that I'm working on or putting videos up for. That's kind of how I do it on this channel, just to not like overflood subscribers with notifications. I imagine this game would be just a lot of fun to watch someone amazing at it play it. Because I think it would be, I would almost like enjoy watching someone do like the entire campaign perfectly, a gold medal and all of them, just a compilation of that, and just watch it for like a couple hours or something, because this game is almost hypnotic to watch when you have someone playing it perfectly. Like, you just want to keep watching it. But then you have someone like me who can barely play the game, where it just becomes super frustrating to watch. Not sure if the game froze up here. Some of the load times are pretty long in this game. It looks like it's going. At least on the Xbox One it is. It also seemed like the load times got longer once I moved the game to my internal storage, because I think the deal with it is the USB storage. It has faster overall load times, but if a game isn't optimized or doing whatever's required to optimize for the USB storage, it'll just cause issues in the game, which this game has. I've only noticed it mostly in indie games, though, the issue, where it will kind of freeze up for a moment while it's reading from the external hard drive. It could very well be a problem with my external hard drive, though, but I have literally everything, every game on my Xbox One on my 5 terabyte external hard drive, and I've only had problems with a couple games, really, that, and most of them were indie games, and then this game. As far as like reading from it and freezing up at certain times when it's reading from the drive. I tend to have a lot of time reading all the signs in this game and figuring out where to go. Though they do a better job than a lot of racing games at telling you exactly where to go. That's one of the problems I have in a lot of racing games, is that sometimes I'll just get lost and not realize which way I should have turned and just turn the wrong way. More modern racing games tend to be better at that, though. They'll give you a line on the road usually or something to let you know where you're supposed to go. I'm not sure if I make more videos on this game to the channel, just because there isn't really that much I think I can do on it. Since I'm not that great of a player of the game, I don't really intend to finish it. I actually was thinking of making a video with the Ubisoft skins. This game, like most Ubisoft games, has Ubisoft Club points you can buy to buy skins in the game, and I wanted to make a video kind of showing off those skins. Since I play pretty much everything, I have just tons of Ubisoft points, so I can usually buy all the items from a game with Ubisoft points when it comes out. I'm one of the few people who I kind of enjoy the Ubisoft Club stuff. I think it's not horrible. Unfortunately, I like a lot of the stuff is just purely cosmetic stuff that doesn't matter at all for the Ubisoft Club. I guess it doesn't really make sense to put in something game-breaking into the game that you can just buy with points, or I don't know. I thought Assassin's Creed, the new one, Syndicate, did it well. There's a couple of items that you could buy that were a little bit more powerful than your current level that you could spend points on. I think I bought one or two of those, and I thought it was kind of cool the way they did it, but it wasn't something that like overpowered the game. There's an Ubisoft game called Motion Sports for the Kinect, and I haven't researched this fully, but I think some of the achievements in it are unattainable because it can't connect to the Ubisoft Club anymore. Because I think there's a few achievements tied to unlocking some new challenges in the Ubisoft, because it used to be Uplay, and when it changed to Ubisoft Club, it became couldn't connect to it on certain games, older games. I think Motion Sports might have been one of those games. I don't know this for sure. I can't remember if I looked into this or not, but I think that there were some challenges you had to unlock that were tied to achievements that you could only unlock through the Ubisoft Club, and I don't know if I actually did those before it went offline. Yeah, unattainable trophies and achievements are always something that's really, it just sucks. It sucks a lot. Like anytime a servers are taken offline or stuff becomes unattainable. One that actually, there's been several games recently that I've been playing that had the servers taken offline that I would have completed if they weren't offline. Probably the one that I was a little bit probably most disappointed in was Dance Central 3, where I spend a lot of time on that game, getting all the achievements in it, and there's one achievement in it that's very difficult, and it takes probably I probably spent 4 hours practicing the song just for one achievement in it. And I completed it, and I completed every other achievement in the game, but the game turned off its Facebook integration in March of 2015, which was last year around this time. And I didn't get started on that game until July of 2015, so by that time the servers were already taken offline. So I'm missing. That game is a tough game to complete. It's actually like it has a high difficulty rating on true achievements, and I'm just missing like the two easy achievements are linked to posting a picture on Facebook from the game. And I've done all the hard stuff, but just missing like two easy achievements. So it's really frustrating in that case. But it's mostly frustrating if you do it on PlayStation Network, because then it's tied to your trophies, your platinum trophy. So if you're missing one like silly online achievement, then the servers are offline. You can't get it anymore. Then you're locked out of the platinum. And there are people, there's completionists on the Xbox as well who like just go for getting all the achievements in a game, but especially on PlayStation, like because there's that extra platinum awarded, there's like this extra need for a lot of people to complete all the trophies in a game so they can get that platinum. And it's just really frustrating when you just can't attain that anymore because the offline, like the online portion of it's offline. And it's really silly with servers going down too, because the amount of time it takes to manage one of these things is very. I know that I'm not talking as a game developer, but I am talking as someone who's like done this kind of stuff with the websites and stuff. Is fairly minimal to like keep up like the servers for a certain game. And there's games from 2006 that when the Xbox like launched in 2005 that the servers are still up for because they use Microsoft servers, and all the games that use like their own custom servers like Electronic Arts and 2K, their servers are offline because they chose to use their own servers instead of Microsoft servers. And it's just really frustrating. There's one game. So I play the NBA games, NBA 2K games, generally for achievements each year. But NBA 2K14 on the Xbox One, I didn't get around to playing. And I picked up the game and started playing it before the servers were shut down. And was able to get like a couple like achievements before the servers were turned offline. But then I kind of went away from it for a while, and I was trying to go back to it recently, and the game wouldn't even start. It like the whole like it just like put the disc in, and the game it went through the intro movie, and then it just tried to connect to the servers, couldn't connect, and then just like got stuck on the loading screen. And I was trying to look to see if anyone else was having that issue with the game, and like no one was really mentioning it. So, but it seems like at least for me that game is just completely unplayable right now because the servers were offline. Like you can't even play it single player anymore. I don't know. Like I might try. It might be an issue with my save data. Is like because I played it when the servers were on. It might be trying to load my profile. I might have to just completely delete my save and then see if it works. I'm not sure. And there's really no mention of it all online either, which is kind of the scary part. There's really no one talking about, like, that the game was unplayable, so it might be something that is only related to me, I don't know. But I feel like I'm kind of like I have this archival tendency when it comes to games. That's kind of why I started this channel too, was because I could put up video on certain games and kind of archive them. But it really, I like researching kind of the history of games, looking at obscure games, looking at games that never came out, looking at games that are very, very unpopular, that I tend to play like a very wide variety of games for achievements and trophies, so I kind of have this fairly deep knowledge of games. So the deal is, when I complete this course here, I'm probably going to stop for tonight. I still don't know what the best nights are for streaming on this channel. I know a lot of people might not catch this live, but check out the VOD or the saved video after the stream's over. So I'd like to kind of have a day set where I do this kind of stuff, but I'm not sure what the best day yet is, and whether to do it multiple times a week. I've been trying to do it on Friday and Saturday or so, if I'm available during that time. But I'd like to try to do it maybe 2 or 3 times a week or so, just streaming for maybe a couple hours or so. Because it does allow me to just kind of casually talk about stuff that's going on with either the channel or the gaming in general or whatever. I don't know. We'll try to figure it out in the next couple of weeks. Like I said, I might do something with Diablo 3 when the new season starts. I think the new season probably will start in mid-April, I'd imagine, based on their timelines. I think the last season started in mid-January, maybe. So they've been saying that they plan to release new seasons and new content about every 3 months now. And they're currently testing the latest content patch on their test realms. So I might do something with that when it comes out. And I probably would do that on YouTube as opposed to Twitch. This is the last track in this set, so it's going to be the hardest. So I mentioned, I think on one of these streams a while back, but I actually am in the Warcraft, World of Warcraft Legion alpha test. I didn't realize I was in it, but I am. So it's possible I might do something with that at some point. The only problem is, like, I haven't played that game almost at all in the latest expansion. I used to play that game, like, hardcore. Like, that was the only game I played for a long time. But I don't particularly want to go back to it, and not particularly interested in it either, but there might be some, like, stuff I could record for the channel for stuff in that game. I don't know. We'll see. I also feel like I'm kind of wasting the alpha is being wasted on me, because I know that I would have been so into getting into a beta or alpha when I was really into the game. Alright, I think I skipped this medal, or I accidentally hit next track or something like that, so there's one more I need to do here. And then we'll probably end it for tonight for this stream. So, kind of if you're wondering whether to get this game or not, I think this game is good. I think the price is good. $40 is a good price for it. It'd probably come down even more fairly soon because games have been doing that lately. But yeah, this game is pretty good. Maybe wait for it to go down in price a little bit more though. I don't know. I'm just not that good of a player of racing games to be like good enough to really be great at this game. The multiplayer in it actually seems like a lot of fun. I played that for a few minutes. I've seen other people play it. The multiplayer is kind of cool in this game. The only problem is like I have so many other games to play, and usually when I play games I play them for the achievements, and I don't think there's really any or many achievements tied to the multiplayer, if any at all. So that's something I tend really not to focus on because I have so many other games to play and I'm not that great at this game. But if you're really into this game, I think you'd enjoy the multiplayer because like the last 10 minutes of the video I put up on my channel, I showed the multiplayer off and I thought it was really cool. But anyway, that's going to be it for tonight. I think this game's okay. Might be worth checking out. Let's see, let me see just before I do move on, like what I have to do to unlock the next set of levels. So I've done everything here. So to unlock, I basically need to grind out some more silver medals to unlock the rest of the stuff going forward. So I basically have to improve my times on a lot of this stuff and get better at the game, pretty much. It looks like you need to unlock to continue on. It looks like you need to unlock basically all the silver medals and everything to move on. So this seems like it's a kind of a hard stopping point for people who are not that great at the game like me. So this might actually be as far as I get in the game, since it does look like you need silver medals in all the levels to move on to unlock the next championship series here. At least that's what it looks like to me. So this might actually be where I have to stop playing the game because I might get a little bit overwhelmed by continuing on at this point. But this game is fun, kind of just hard to fun game, but not for me. I'm not that great at it, so might not go much further in this game, but it is fun to play. Anyway, that's going to be it for me for tonight. Thanks for watching. Thanks for 1,200 subscribers. I know it's not much compared to many other channels, but it is seeing some steady growth over time with the channel, and I appreciate that, and I always appreciate anyone who subscribes, watches any of the content, made it to the end of this video. I always appreciate that. You guys are awesome. Anyway, I am going to stop for tonight, and I don't know if I'll be streaming tomorrow night. I don't know what I'm going to be streaming going forward. We'll see. Just check it out and see if there's anything interesting to do. Anyway, good night, and see you later.